All right, Yellowjackets, it's that time again. It's time to huddle up, talk about the craziness of this week's episode, because there was quite a bit of craziness to it.
I would say it was buzzing with insanity,
Yeah.
if you will, because I love the title, A Normal Boring Life, because I feel like this episode was really anything but a normal boring life, but just great on all fronts. And I feel like we got a lot of answers. I've seen things where people were saying they felt like we got more questions instead of answers, but like, or answers that led to more questions. But like, I personally have been excited every time we've learned something new this season because I feel like we've gotten a lot of things answered or like pretty strongly hinted at that like there's this explanation for something. And I think people might just be a little disappointed because I think this episode with finally ending the debate of who Hilary Swank is playing and
Hmm.
who will she be on the show. I think it was just maybe like outside of her, I think she did anyone who was like, "Oh, I don't want her to, be on the show whatever," as Melissa, adult Melissa. I think a lot of people did actually say that her performance was really great and turned it around like, and I agree. But I think people might just be disappointed that there's been no secret big bad in the shadows doing all of this blackmail coming for Shauna. Like a lot of us have theorized, myself included, with that whole Kill Bill thing, even
Hmm.
earlier this season, I was still all in on it. But like, I think as we've learned something new this season, don't you kind of feel like I feel like it's going in a different direction than a lot of us anticipated, but I'm happy about that. Like I welcome that. I don't need it to just be like, exactly how I predict. I'm okay with things changing. Some of the stuff we get right, but like I think it's really exciting that they're kind of going to these places where we've kind of theorized for a long time that like someone might be a big bad in the shadows
Hmm.
who's been blackmailing them. And this episode kind of really shows you that's not the case. I mean, I guess depending on who you believe, but I think we can all say Sean is fucking crazy at this point,
Hmm.
obviously. So for me, I was excited because it kind of spins it into what I thought we were kind of hinting at this whole season, which is I think Shauna is the ultimate big bad that we're leading up to, and maybe we didn't realize was there the whole time.
Yeah, and this also could just be like an example of great writing playing mind games with us, where, oh, we're starting to think that maybe Shauna's the problem. But I don't know. Walter's been pretty quiet as of late.
You
Je-
still are
Je-
suspicious of that guy. It's
Je-
Elijah Wood. Look at those big blue eyes. He couldn't hurt a
yeah,
fly.
he's got soul piercing eyes. It's
I
like,
know.
yeah, it's like Bob Costas, and that's why it scares me. The soul piercing eyes. I don't like it. But
Mm. You're just scared of how attracted you are to him. I get it. A lot of
yeah,
people are. It's fine.
but like then Callie and my boy Jeff, they're kind of turning a little bit, and Jeff's got that weird rash thing going on, maybe a guilt rash.
I will say Jeff's meltdown this episode was a highlight for me. I know some people might think that like some of the stuff with Jeff is like filler or like why do we need it? And I'm just like, really, bitch? I would be so sad if there was no Jeff. Like that would mean there's no book club. Like we need him.
There's no book club.
And this episode, his just total meltdown and everything was such a delight to watch from like melting down at the restaurant to being like because like he was so stressed out in the room even and then the call with Misty and she doesn't even give him anything
Yeah.
and maybe hangs up on him. I don't know if she's ever hung up on anyone, it feels like. And she hung up on Jeff and then she doesn't answer when he's calling her a billion times. I'm like, this is so not Misty. I love it. And then he has a great line. I think maybe the line of the episode with calling her crazy or that um what does he say? That little fucking four-eyed mushroom or something that
Yeah.
he says. Yeah. Yeah, he calls her a fucking little four-eyed mushroom. And I really enjoy that because like people I think the last one that everyone always references is Natalie saying like that little poodle-haired freak.
Yeah.
And I just think it's really funny because they do get some good ins as much as I'm like, don't pick on Misty. That was a pretty good one, but I don't know. What do you think about the whole Jeff stuff? I
I mean,
loved it.
I
You think he's
think
guilty though? Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what.
He could be. He did try to blackmail him in the first season.
But all he was concerned with this season so far was karma. And he seemed to actually want to do
With
that because he was really great with the old people,
Oh,
which
it's
is
so
like
good.
really just won me over if I was ever like suspicious. He's had scratches on his hand. I get it. But I believe that we all remember Shauna brought home some cat. Could have been feral for all we know.
Hmm.
We haven't seen the cat, so who knows what happened to it. But I have a feeling that that is where the scratches came from. I don't know. I think Jeff is kind of the guy that would maybe tell someone immediately, especially Shauna if he had killed Lottie or something.
Maybe some of the grannies at the retirement home got a little feisty with him, you
I
know.
mean, right? Maybe he fucked somebody there. Who knows? We don't know what's Jeff. We don't know his life.
I will.
But I will say I don't think he's guilty. Callie, though, I think yes. I think she could have something to do with something because she's so smart, and I feel like everyone, especially your parents, fucking just kind of dismiss her and don't give her enough credit.
Yeah, Callie's is the big question mark, especially since we learned this episode that there was a note
Yeah.
with the tape.
I think when
So,
she goes to get her mom the tape, either I think it was at the beginning of last episode, I think that she like comes across the envelope, which must have the note in it still, and she like puts that back in her drawer. So I'm telling you, right now, I think Callie already knows everything about the frog scientist, whatever. I think that's how she knows for sure that no one's after her. I don't know what if Lottie necessarily like was killed by Callie, but I think that Callie might have met up with Lottie to get some answers if she read that note
hmm
and saw that shit. So she might, because I feel like before that, like up until she got the envelope and the tape, she
hmm
was all like always wanting to get her mom's approval. And they had that bonding moment when she showed her the video of her pouring guts over that girl, of course.
yeah,
That was their natural bonding. And then that's when she gets the letter. And from then on, I feel like she's been more of like a detective and like asking questions and been more like inquisitive and like
hmm
sneaky by like putting the recorder on her phone and like putting that in the fucking purse and recording that conversation. I think that conversation just gave her confirmation that yes, they all know what she's talking about in the letter,
yeah,
even if she can't tell exact details. I think she has a pretty strong idea.
yeah. And at this point, with Lottie, both teen and adult Lottie, I'm coming around to thinking that adult Lottie killed herself.
I'm
And,
positive.
and there's going
Yeah.
to be some level of like ceremonial ritual tied to it. And Callie has some role to play in that. But man, like teen Lottie is just
Full
off her
on.
rocker. Like when
If
she's
you
like,
didn't notice last week when she spent 24 hours straight fucking or like I guess 12 hours, whoever know however long it was, just fucking licking brains off a dead guy's wounded head. Yeah, she's definitely insane this episode by being like, "We can't go home. I'm gonna
yeah,
stay." I'm like, Natalie was all of us because I
yeah,
feel like all of us were like, "Excuse me, bitches. Okay, fine." And Natalie's just like, "Fine, fuck it. You guys are staying. Bye." Like, I really enjoyed. She's like, "Has everyone gone fucking insane?" Like, yes, the bitches are insane, but like, it's kind of crazy because I feel like this is twisting. Like, it's a great time. I feel like after this season, if you go back and rewatch every season and episode leading up to this, it's all gonna play differently because like, who do we establish as like what we think of as the sane ones who made it out, which was
hmm
Ty, Shauna, and Lottie that we are introduced to. Misty, we are supposed to be thinking she's insane,
yeah.
but right now she seems to be the sanest one out
She
of any of them.
she's the most consistent from
Yeah,
teen to adult.
literally. And she's definitely insane in her own way, but I feel like she's actually way more together than the rest of them because they all pretend that they're okay. Obviously, Ty, we know, is off the deep end. We don't know what's going to happen there, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's interesting because those are like our POV characters as adults,
hmm
and that like I've seen people being like, I don't think I can defend Lottie anymore after last week. I'm like, really? Were you trying to defend her before this? This is all her. Like, I know she's mentally ill, but like that's still no excuse for this shit. It's a
Well,
little bit extreme.
what was the thing that that Shauna said to Hillary Swank? Like Hillary Swank's like,
Melissa.
you guys met up with Lottie and joined her cult, and then
Hmm.
Shauna was like, it's not a cult. It's like it's a controlled community or
It's an
something.
intentional community,
Yeah,
which is what
intention.
everybody says at a cult. That's literally the definition of a cult.
I,
And people
I,
always use that. And I love Shauna's like actually trying to defend it for a second. And it's
yeah,
like, I didn't join, but like honestly, you did. What's great about that reference too, I want to rewatch like all of, I mean, obviously the whole show so far, but the episode where in like, I think it's the finale last season where Shauna draws the card and they all are like, okay, I'll kill her. After watching this season so far, I'm like, I see why they were like,
yeah.
all right, sorry, the wilderness said, time to kill the fucking bitch. This is amazing. We've all waited our entire lives to get back at her. I love this. I'm wondering if she ends up helping them survive in some way because it's weird how they were all kind of cool with talking to her and not Misty. But again, I think we're I think there's still so much to come that we can't really say anything about like, oh, well, that doesn't make sense yet. There's still the post-rescue timeline, which I think we're going to eventually see by the end of this season. I don't know.
Well, and the fact that Hillary Swank says that, or I guess Melissa says that she killed herself after they came back. When I heard that, I was like, oh, that sounds like an important moment that for us to see in the teen timeline.
Yeah, I think the creators said that they've always thought that that would be a timeline later on in the show, and they confirmed pretty much that that's where they're heading this season. So we will, I think, have a third timeline next season, which is so exciting. Um, I think that's one of the parts that people say that they want the most, at least, like that I've heard, is that we all want to know what happens when they get back. Like I feel like at this point, with how long they've been in the woods and so much that's happened, I'm like just as curious to like what the fuck goes on when they get back. Who can handle their shit? Who like maybe more people make it out than are really still alive as adults. Maybe a few of them even kill themselves. Like we don't fucking know. Or maybe the Yellowjackets try to silence some of them and kill them. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why Melissa fakes her death. Like we have none of that context. So I think it's really exciting to see like especially how I kind of thought Teen Melissa was over Shauna this episode, but Shauna kind of won her back.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I was just doing it because he tried to hurt you. You know, it's like, yeah, whatever, bitch. You're crazy, especially. I mean, maybe she really will. There will be a separation now because Shauna's officially, I think, lost it in both timelines. I'm just kind of like, I'm so happy to see adult Shauna being as crazy as young Shauna.
Yes. And yeah, before we get to adult crazy Shauna and the ending, because the ending was wild. I did want to shout out one last thing about Jeff. I think Jeff had maybe my favorite line since there's no book club. It was like, you guys are going with furniturefam.net. You can't go with furniturefam.net. Like,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say his other one, which was like, haven't you guys ever dated
oh
a
yeah.
mentally deranged woman? And then he's like, or
Or are
has
they all
everyone
just
you've been with just been
bored?
fucking boring? And I was like, even Callie's face of like, wow, nice. That was incredible, and I really loved Jeff finally coming back. I wonder like how that's gonna be when, I mean, who knows? Next episode, I feel like it's gonna be maybe the other adult Yellow Jackets leave the hospital, or maybe they all reconvene at the hospital. I have no idea what's gonna go, but I do feel like we're getting a reunion of all of them at some point.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I feel like is definitely coming. Ty is going to go on a massacre in that hospice
She
center.
almost did to this episode, and my actually she gets my favorite line of the episode when she almost killed that guy, screamed in his face, and then he started flatlining, and then she's like, "I didn't, does that count?" And I was just like, "That was pretty fucking good." I don't think it will actually help Van, but I'm curious. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think it will do anything at this point, but I'm really curious. Like, I mean, is
I
it like Final Destination 5 rules where like you get their years, and if he's already dying, that would give her like what a few, maybe a month, maybe
It's a
less than
good
that?
question. I feel like it's going to do something because I feel like it's got to do enough that like there's a sign of a rebound, but it's not enough to where Ty is like, I got to kill someone else. Like there's got to be a hint of hope and then everything. And then as we've talked about with the last couple episodes, they are hammering our heads that Dark Tai is in control. We get another scene of Dark Tai locking out the other Tai.
Yep. I'm excited for the showdown, but I feel sad because I worry that like other like regular Ty's not going to get out in time and then Van will be dead. But maybe I'll be proven wrong and maybe the wilderness will heal her completely because I don't know. I don't think I'll ever count Van out in any way because I feel like Coach Ben, but even more so, she survived like at least three different types of deaths and like
Hmm.
fire multiple times. So I kind of feel like if anything does kill her, it'll probably be fire at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially after that vision last week with the young self setting her bed on fire. I mean, obviously she's like fucking dying and having these crazy visions and shit.
yeah.
I'm sure it's just side effects, but also like I don't know. There's a lot of fire imagery in her head, so I don't know.
I feel like this is setting up for Ty, maybe the real Ty, sacrificing herself for Van. Like that's like the thing that cures her
Mm.
is that
I don't think it's a magic show though.
well, there's a little
No,
bit of
you're
magic.
Jace, I believe you are familiar with the show Lie to Me, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that if someone's voice jumps up that high when they respond, that means that they don't really believe what they're saying. Is that not correct?
Oh, that
What?
is
No.
that's good callback.
You used to watch that shit all the time. That was
Oh,
your
I
favorite
love that
show, and
show.
that I watched it a lot because of you. And it was actually a great show. Also, love Tim Roth, so like not even mad.
It's great. But
But
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. That just makes sense in my head of
Magic love. There's no love heals everything. If anything, it's gonna be like something fucked up. I don't think
well,
we're
I'm
heading
not
towards a happy ending.
I
I
mean,
think Van's dying and maybe other Ty dies with her.
well, I mean, it's not love magic, it's wilderness magic.
Still, if it's
Because she
if
did get
she
a little bit better, and her doctors are like, I don't know what's going on here.
yeah,
So
but that
if
could
they're
just be a random thing because now she's spitting blood. I don't
or
think that like the wilderness is mad at her and making her do that. Like she didn't fucking do anything. If anything, Shauna should be the one getting punished. She's the crazy bitch,
no, Shauna is the one that the wilderness likes the most because she's
I
crazy
guess.
and just doing crazy shit, doing Shauna things.
I still don't. I'm not. Maybe that's why I've pretty much given up belief in the wilderness. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty much all like, yeah, Travis is right. The way I'm glad he finally told Aquila that like it's not real. I just get picked you like I was a lie. None of this is real. I think it's just Lottie's fucking messed up head. That's why she's like, I have to stay here. The me that was born out here will not be okay. And where everyone's like, yeah, that's the fucking point. Let's
Yeah.
go. You know what I mean?
So then do you think Dark Tie is like split personalities sort of thing?
I don't know. I think maybe, or it could just be like, I mean, that does happen in events of trauma.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I think that is the only thing that really makes sense to me. I don't think it's a dark thing because I think it's just maybe a different side of her, but it feels like another personality is what it
Yeah.
is. So it feels like it comes out and the other one's trapped away. And every time I've seen that visual in a movie, that's usually like someone trapping the other person in their mind. It feels like
Hmm.
Get Out or, whatever, any
Yeah.
any number of movies like that. So I kind of feel like that's just a visual representation and that's the reason, but I could be wrong. This episode when they flash back to her as the teen and you see dark man, no eyes, fucker
Hmm.
behind next to her, and they're both like smiling. You're like, all right, well that's fucked. I kind of feel like it's just like, she said this season, and I think that was Dark Tie saying that she remembers seeing that as a kid. So maybe that like fucked her up in a different side of her personality and like it's some kind of trauma. We don't really know much about her family life. So I feel like
Hmm.
it could be tied to that. That tends to be like when people have multiple personality, like it's like not like they're I don't pretty positive. I could be wrong. I'm not a fucking doctor, but I'm pretty positive they're not born with it. It's like usually something that there's like something traumatic that causes the split. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think she has like schizophrenia. I think like we're all pretty positive that's Lottie.
Yeah.
She's definitely that. Nobody else knows. But I'm like, I'm surprised she wasn't tied up to a tree this whole episode, honestly. She was just roaming about after killing that guy. I don't know. The other
But
people were tied up. I feel like Lottie should have been tied up somewhere too.
well, wasn't Lottie schizophrenic like before they
Yeah,
even
that's what I'm
went? Like she
saying.
was medicated and then she got out in the
Never
woods and
mentioned to anybody that she ran out of her meds or that she had meds, and so everyone believed her. And that's what I'm saying is I think it's all just mental health, and that's to me, I think it's just more interesting because then it's like literally these girls are monsters because like the okay, like if we go to the adult conversation, just like the way that I mean, Hilary Swank plays Melissa really, really well. I was fine with the fucking backwards cap. I love that that was real, and I don't care because I feel like it also kind of shows maybe she isn't as fully past her teen self as she might pretend to be.
yeah.
She's also fucking the daughter of the woman that they killed and ate, so it's kind of fucked. But she seems okay, right? Whatever. I love the way that she just lays into Shauna though, because you're like, someone needed to fucking say that to Shauna. Someone needed to tell her, like, you are just miserable and you want
Yeah.
everyone to be miserable with you. It's like, yes. And then she just proves her right by the end of the episode in the teen timeline by being like, I'm not going either, and neither are you guys. And you're like, okay, bitch, you and what army? Because we have the guns. Like, what are you gonna do? But I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
stop it.
I feel like it's confirmed at this point in the team timeline that Shauna is the Antler Queen. Like this is
This
we're
is how
about
she
we're
comes to
about to
power.
see her do some crazy shit and like lock down the throne for
Yeah.
when we catch up to the first episode.
Yeah, I feel like Joel McHale will probably be off before the end of the season. I think Hannah could stick around maybe, unless they like do Pit Girl towards the end, and maybe that's when they kill her off. But I feel
Mm.
like she's gonna stick around a little while at least because they said she's like friends with Melissa,
Yeah, she gets
obviously.
close with people.
So Melissa, I mean, close enough that she fucked and married her own daughter. So I
I th
mean, who knows?
Yeah, I think Shauna is gonna kill Joel McHale, and that and
Yeah.
like her killing a guy that's much bigger than her, and it's probably gonna be pretty ruthless how she kills him.
Maybe he turns on them though, because I feel like her, Ty, and Lottie were all saying it doesn't feel right. The only thing I think that could get all of the other girls who were like 100% like daydreaming of home, that whole sequence where like Misty dreams
Yeah,
she's on the toilet with real toilet paper and like the
yeah,
Slurpee and like all of that shit was really, really great. But I feel like it's got to be something like where they're proven right for not wanting to go home in
hmm
order to have everyone be fully back in the cult. I mean, obviously it's wintertime, maybe they don't have a choice, but I do feel like they're pretty well organized in their rituals by that point that we see them in the premiere. So like I feel like they might get started on that pretty
yeah,
soon. So I think yeah, I think Sean is about to start that shit and I think maybe Joel McHale will try or even successfully kill one of them and
mm,
try to get away. And then Shauna will kill him and be like proven right. And that's why, like, everyone, including Natalie as an adult, wasn't like, I'm never going to fucking talk to you again, you insane person. Like, because why would Natalie fuck with any of these bitches as adults after
yeah,
seeing this, like, scene where she's like, are you all fucking insane? Did you lose your minds? Like, what?
yeah,
And her just fuck it. Like some of the best performance from Sophie Thatcher and like really funny. I felt like the
yeah,
delivery was just on point.
yeah. Fucking great. Uh,
So Hilary Swank and Shauna as
yeah.
adults.
So the
What do
every
you what are your thoughts?
I loved it. Hilary Swank came in and just like acted like she's been on the show since the first season. Uh,
Really seamless.
so great, like especially with like her being in with Shauna being in the closet, and then like Melissa clocks that and is like, "You better get out," and then it's like, "Oh, it's Shauna. Fuck."
Yep. I know who you are, Melissa. How the fuck are you alive?
Yeah.
I love that shit. And I also really, I think that their conversation was so great because we've only seen Melissa really kiss her ass as a teen until this episode, also as a teenager. And she's like, fuck you, which is what I said after last week. I was like, yo, I also did call. She's still adult Melissa. The death was a total, like, fucking
hmm
red herring. I knew it a mile away.
I mean,
I'm very excited.
it's kind of a loose story that a suicide note is all they needed, but I'm
I mean,
okay
it
with
makes
it.
sense. I don't care. Would you throw your body in the water? They're never gonna go find it. Who cares? She killed herself. Great, case over. That sounds pretty realistic for like real life police. I feel like in the movies the detective would be like, nah, no, I'm gonna solve this case. But it's like this isn't, a fucking like
Yeah,
Sherlock
like
Holmes. This is just like the regular fucking local police. So
yeah.
I feel like that makes sense. But it is pretty unhinged of her, like as well adapted as she seems and like normal. Still pretty fucked up that she could
Yeah.
be with someone like that. And like, I just think I love the twist that she didn't send the tape as a threat. Like,
Yeah.
she literally, I really enjoyed her performance. And I felt like it was just great seeing this relationship with her and Melissa. It was really interesting for me.
Yeah,
And
it's
Shauna immediately going like, I'm the biggest narcissist in the world. Are you still in love with me? It's like, oh my God, bitch. I don't think I ever was. Are you kidding me? Like, really? Shauna just proves this episode. She just is the biggest narcissist and only thinks everyone's out to get her.
well,
So,
it's a little weird because earlier this season, I remember us talking and we felt like Melissa when she like kissed her and all that stuff, we felt like Melissa was being a little manipulative potentially.
hmm
And so I can't get that out of my head
I'm still a
that
little weary of it too.
adult Melissa, I mean, if she can go and marry and start a family with the daughter of someone she ate, like if she can do that, this whole thing also could be manipulative as well. Like she knows how to, it seems like she knows how to push Shauna's buttons.
hmm
And
Oh, she just destroys her. And it's also like, finally, Shauna can realize it. I think everyone's been kind of coming to this theory on their own that, like, I'm pretty sure Shauna is just insanely crazy and paranoid.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, she needs to be living in a jungle society out there in the fucking middle of nowhere because that's where she thrives. In
yeah,
real life, she's just a fucking fake all the time. Like, worse than like the three friends on the White Lotus. She's
yeah,
the fakest bitch. You know what I mean? Because it's like she's so like quirky and kind of like classic Melanie Linsky for the first couple
yeah.
seasons. And like you only see the mask kind of come off a few times. And I think it was just like really jarring for people this season. But I feel like this moment is why they were laying those seeds. And like
hmm
they're even as far back as season one, there's moments like that.
Oh,
Obviously, she
those are my
fucking kills
favorite
Adam.
moments.
Every time Melanie Linsky plays an unhinged woman, I'm all for it. And this week, she really goes all out and
Oh,
literally almost eats her alive.
when 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 she says that line, like kind of halfway through their conversation, and she's like, "You're right. None of that matters to me." Gave me chills. I'm like, "Oh God, villain arc beginning now." Like,
Yeah, she's villain era activated. She is ready, and I'm ready for it because I kind of feel like that's really great writing. And it's
mhm,
better to me in a way of like, this is what I wish they did on Game of Thrones. I know you might
mhm,
not watch that show. I mean, maybe you lived under a rock during that show, but if you know that show, the fucking transition in the final season of Danny from like our number one hero, more so than Jon Snow, because he kind
yeah,
of lost his like plot a little ways into the show. I feel like her turning into the villain of the whole thing by the end was such garbage and
yeah,
done haphazardly in like three episodes after like fucking eight seasons. Like that's so garbage. Whereas like we're on season three and Shauna has been pretty villainous in like starting from
yeah,
episode one. I mean, you kind of understand her writing angry in her diary at the beginning of the
hmm
season, but from where she is now, you're like, ah, I see that was a dangerous road she was on
yeah.
now. But like at the time, you're like, she's kind of right. These bitches are lying about everything to make themselves feel better. But then you're like, oh, but see how unhinged she is? That's a scary thought coming from someone that's that fucking cold. She is terrifying in both timelines now. And I'm just worried for everyone. I know certain people live, but I'm still like, dude, I was like, the way she was staring down like Travis and Aquila when they came back, like, why
Mhm.
were you fucking like all this stuff? I was like, oh my God, I know Travis lives, but Jesus Christ, I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill him. Like she's so scary. And seeing Melanie Linsky like fully go there was just like what we've been screaming for since episode one. And
Yeah.
like every time we see a hint, we're like, yes, yes, yes. And now I feel like we might not go back. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping this unlocked unhinged Shauna forever. Like I'm wondering if the mask fully comes down with the family because they seem to be onto her. I feel like if they confront her right now, she might eat them too. I don't know. I really
Yeah.
don't know what that bitch is gonna do, right?
What like the final like thing when that all went down and she busts Melissa's arm, knocks her down, pins her, and then bites her arm and rips it off. I was like, oh my
Like
God,
the
we got
flesh in her mouth was so
adult
gross.
cannibalism. It's here.
Finally, we've been waiting. Like, I feel like last season, episode one, we were like, they're finally doing cannibalism, you guys. Oh my
Yeah.
God. And now we're like, finally, the adults are in on it too. We knew it was going to make a comeback. I really did feel that it would. I really was like, oh my God, you fucking crazy bitch. I love it.
It just
She was like, eat it. That just really nailed it to me. That, like,
just
this
the blood all over her mouth. Like
eat
it's
it
just
or I'll
like,
fucking tell your family who you really are. I was like,
oh.
Jesus, fuck this bitch just went from zero to like 5,000. I'm terrified. And I knew that that was going to be the end of the episode, but I was so fucking mad because I was like, no, I need the next one now. I know I say that probably every week, but like,
Yeah.
just the face covered in blood. This is what I've been wanting since forever. Like, we need more of this immediately. I hope it never goes away.
Well, and I'm glad that you told me that that Melissa is in the rest of this season
Yeah.
because the the thing that I want more than anything is I want the moment that Jeff realizes that Shauna was a little bi-curious.
I'd say a little bit more than bi-curious. And like I feel like yeah, because that's such a great point, Jace. You're right. That as much as like that's like lower on the totem pole of like overall things, I really like am so intrigued by his reaction. Is he
Yeah.
gonna be like, that's pretty hot, or is he gonna have another meltdown? I
Is he gonna get
feel
jealous? Like,
he's just gotten a little bit of fucking confidence back with that remark to the Joels this week. And after like a lot of embarrassment this episode and old dad shit and just like I feel like he's got his. It makes sense that they'd take away his mojo again. So
yeah,
it could be this. I feel like he might have a meltdown if he hears this. But I wonder if we'll find that out this season because he also, thanks to Misty, knows that Shauna fucking ditched them at the hospital.
yeah.
Literally, like all of that was just so funny.
Well, I at this point, I think the only person that I fully trust in the entire show is Misty.
100%. She's actually the good one.
Yeah, like Misty's the only one that's quirky and weird, but has always been that way. And
Yeah, she's consistent. Okay. She does crazy things sometimes, but I will say, I feel that I actually can understand the reasoning as insane. I mean, maybe she drugged Ben a few more times than I would understand.
yeah,
She did that multiple times. I don't understand the appeal there, but I do feel like she surprisingly is the most rational at this point, even though she's definitely insane and has murdered people multiple times and doesn't
yeah.
care. She's still like actually the most responsible and together with the probably dealing with the trauma. Like I feel like
Hmm.
she's similar to Shauna in a lot of ways, but like doesn't put up the front, you
Yeah,
know?
she doesn't
She's like Shauna
repress
because
it.
they never really believed. They just were kind of like using it when it benefited them. Like Misty liked that she could be the number two to whoever was the power. So
Yeah.
she used that to like her advantage. And Shauna, obviously we've seen, has really taken over and taken advantage of that. I just think I cannot wait to see where it goes like from here, obviously, but like I mean, who knows? I think some yellow jackets in the teen timeline are dying by the end of the season. I think we're
Hmm.
gonna have some casualties there because we haven't yet, right, this season. So I feel like
Yeah.
we're due for at least one, maybe more. And then I think I did see an interview where like they said that we'll find out what happened to Lottie at the end of this show. Or not the show, excuse me, the season. If they were
Yeah.
saving that for like season five, I would die. I think we're gonna find that out soon. So like I'm curious there because I think they've done a great job with just making us think everyone is could be responsible. But Shauna, after eating Hillary Swank's arm and trying to get her to eat it, was like, I was like, she's still my number one candidate for murder. I don't know about you. I guess we'll find out, but like that was pretty compelling evidence. Like if you played that in the courtroom, they'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah, she's it. Yep. Uh-huh.
Well, and one thing I've thought about since you mentioned it, either last week or the week before, I don't know, but you mentioned like all of the fire imagery with Van.
Yeah.
I think I'm on board with Van was the one who burned down the cabin,
That's what I've been
but
wondering.
I don't think that's going to be revealed in the past. I think Van is going to confess in the present timeline.
Ooh, I like that. That's a great guess, Jace. Wow, I feel like I've had some good guesses lately. So like I really hope this pans out because like that's excellent. I
Is
love
that
that.
because I feel like her revealing that could then start like whoever, depending on who she tells it to, could then start a chain reaction of them revealing something else, sort of
Mm-hmm.
thing.
I love that.
You know, maybe Van tells Misty that, and then Misty confesses to Van that she broke the black box. Sort of.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
who
know.
knows? We don't know if they've found that out still. I'll go crazy bet for the season and I'll say, I bet someone leaks to the press what really happened. Maybe the tape.
That sounds like a Callie move.
That sounds like a Callie move. I kind of feel like Callie might be the one that is maybe carrying on for Van or for fucking Lottie after she died of like I mean weird though because Lottie's just as insane
Yeah.
obviously we can tell from this episode but hey obviously I don't know. I think that it's just a reason that we haven't really gotten what's going on. We've been kind of like only seen a little bit of what's going on with Callie. I think we'll be
Hmm.
filled in later on some stuff, especially with Lottie that we didn't see because we like knew that they met up outside of like the house. So
Hmm.
who knows what was said? Who knows what she knows? I feel like she might be the one coming for Shauna. I would love to see Shauna go to jail and then fucking like lead the cult in there and be like, I'm the bad bitch and like just be like kind of in her element.
That'd be pretty sweet. Speaking of coming for Shauna, really surprised how much Jackie we're getting this season. Like the whole
Yeah.
episode starts off with Jackie. I feel like Jackie's been in three scenes this season.
At least 3 episodes so far. And I
Yeah.
love it. I feel like she's had a different wig every time. And maybe that's just because they're like, we're giving up trying to make them look the same. It's just
Yeah.
like, we're having fun. She's got bangs, whatever. I almost thought this might have been like a, because like Shauna's like working at a convenience store. So I was like, oh shit, are we getting like the post rescue timeline? But
Yeah.
then when you notice that like there's no one else in the store and she's like ringing up dead body parts as the meats, you're like,
Yeah.
all right, obviously it's a fucking dream. And then she sees all those moths, and a lot of
Yeah.
people are like, what's going on there?
Yeah, what does the
You have any
light
theories?
mean?
I just figured it's because like they're moths, they're attracted to light, and maybe like it's a metaphor because like they're attracted to the light, but when the moths get to the light, they die, like they get electrocuted.
Hmm.
Like why we have those fucking traps. And so it's like maybe Shauna is like a like she's attracted to the things that are like gonna blow up everything or that
Mm.
are horrible for everyone. She's like always attracted to the things that will be bad for all the yellow jackets. I have no idea. Or it could be that maybe the reason that they all come back around on this whole cult idea, get all in on the wilderness before winter, is because maybe they're like Shauna is proven right that like those people were gonna try and screw him over. And so they like are like, okay, yeah, we're all in now. I think that might happen before the end of the season, but again, who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to see,
I
but
guess we'll have to stick around and watch. But hey, I know I cannot wait. I'm gonna probably watch this episode like 5 more times this week. So.
I'm gonna watch just for Shauna,
I have to
my
shout out, I
queen.
saw, yeah, well, Shauna, but I have to shout out a great comment because someone was like, I really loved, I felt like the comment, someone said, like when Teen Melissa and Shauna make up, and she's like, Teen Melissa's like, I want to do this and I want to get a milkshake and I want to do that. And she's like, I want to get a gym membership and not pay for it. Like all the things she can't wait to do when they get home. And
Yeah.
then someone was like, but she fucking, like, she paid for it, but she fucking used it though. Like
Yeah.
those fucking biceps, if you
Yeah.
notice. Like I was like, she could actually, like, she does put up a pretty good fight against Shauna. I don't think she was prepared to eat flesh. So that's like why Shauna had the advantage. But like,
Yeah.
she was like, I was like, oh, that bitch, she went to the gym.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for this week. We will
Yeah.
huddle up next week for Yellow Jackets.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.